At some point in every person's life, they confront a part of themselves they'd rather not face, a part of themselves they bury, ignore, or deny. It's often said that we are our own worst critics, but the truth is far more complicated. What if the parts of us we hide in the shadows are actually essential to our growth? What if embracing these darker aspects of ourselves could be the key to true self-understanding and healing? This idea is at the core of Carl Jung's concept of the shadow, a psychological construct that plays a central role in his theory of the psyche. The journey into the shadow is not one of self-destruction, but one of self-integration. In this video, we'll explore the integration of the shadow through the lens of Jungian psychology. By embracing the parts of ourselves that we typically avoid, we open the door to a more complete and authentic life. Let's dive into this fascinating journey of self-discovery and learn why confronting the darkness within us can ultimately lead to greater light. Thank you for joining us on this transformative exploration of the mind, body, and spirit. Here at the Unfolding Journey channel, we delve deep into psychological and spiritual concepts, guiding you toward a greater understanding of yourself and the world around you. Whether you're seeking personal growth, self-awareness, or simply looking to broaden your perspective on life, you've come to the right place. Each video is designed to help you unravel the layers of your own story and to empower you to embrace your unique path to wholeness. If you find yourself inspired by today's topic, make sure to subscribe and join us on this ongoing journey of self-discovery. Together, we can unlock the mysteries of the mind and embark on a more fulfilling life. Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, introduced the concept of the shadow as part of his broader theory of the psyche. For Jung, the shadow represents the unconscious part of our personality that consists of repressed weaknesses, desires, and impulses. It is the side of ourselves that we tend to reject, ignore, or deny because it doesn't align with our conscious self-image. The shadow contains those aspects of ourselves that society deems unacceptable or undesirable, often shaped by cultural norms, family dynamics, and personal experiences. In Jungian psychology, the shadow is not inherently negative. Rather, it's a necessary part of who we are. Jung believed that the shadow can contain valuable traits and qualities that we've disowned, often due to fear, shame, or social conditioning. These traits may include aggression, passion, creativity, and even the power to assert ourselves. However, because we are taught to suppress them, they remain hidden in the unconscious mind. A simple way to think about the shadow is to imagine it as a collection of traits we believe are unworthy or wrong. These traits are then pushed out of our awareness, often creating internal conflicts, anxiety, and self-doubt. For example, someone who prides themselves on being always kind might suppress feelings of anger, believing that anger is wrong. In doing so, they might not fully understand their own motivations or how anger can, in certain circumstances, be a source of power or protection. Jung believed that the process of self-actualization, what he referred to as individuation, requires us to confront and integrate these hidden aspects of our psyche. By bringing the shadow into consciousness, we not only heal old wounds, but we also unlock new dimensions of our personality, enabling us to live more fully. Integrating the shadow is not a simple or easy task. It involves a deep and often uncomfortable process of self-reflection. The first step is acknowledging that everyone has a shadow, and that it is just as much a part of who we are as the positive qualities we consciously identify with. Recognizing the existence of our shadow doesn't mean we must act on all the impulses it contains, but rather that we become aware of them and give them space to exist without judgment. For Jung, this process of integrating the shadow is central to the journey of individuation, an ongoing, lifelong process of becoming the person you are meant to be. Individuation is the harmonization of all aspects of the self, including the conscious ego, the unconscious, and the persona. When we begin to integrate our shadow, we start to see ourselves more clearly, accepting not only our strengths but also our flaws and vulnerabilities. In doing so, we become more whole and balanced human beings. However, the road to shadow integration is not smooth. Many individuals struggle to confront these darker aspects of themselves due to the intense emotions and memories they evoke. It can be deeply unsettling to acknowledge the parts of ourselves we've long denied or avoided. But Jung argued that avoiding the shadow only keeps us stuck in the realm of the unconscious, where it exerts a powerful and often negative influence over our lives. As we work to integrate the shadow, it's essential to approach this task with compassion and patience. Shadow work, as it's often called, requires us to acknowledge and embrace the full spectrum of our human experience: light and dark, good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant. This process can bring about deep healing and self-acceptance. There are many benefits to integrating the shadow, the first of which is the development of greater self-awareness. By acknowledging the unconscious aspects of our personality, we become more conscious of our behaviors, thoughts, and emotions. We begin to understand why we react in certain ways, why we have certain fears, and why we might project our negative traits onto others. This awareness helps us break free from old patterns and develop more constructive ways of relating to ourselves and others. Another benefit is increased emotional resilience. As we integrate the shadow, we become more in tune with the full range of our emotional experiences. We stop repressing uncomfortable feelings and instead allow ourselves to feel and process them. This leads to greater emotional intelligence and the ability to cope with life's challenges more effectively. The shadow also contains untapped potential. By acknowledging the qualities we've suppressed, we often uncover hidden strengths and talents. For example, a person who has repressed their anger may find that, once integrated, anger can serve as a source of motivation and assertiveness. A person who has denied their creativity might discover new artistic or intellectual pursuits. In this sense, the shadow can be seen as a reservoir of untapped potential waiting to be unearthed. Moreover, integrating the shadow leads to healthier relationships. By understanding our own projections and insecurities, we become more empathic and compassionate toward others. We stop projecting our fears and judgments onto the people around us, and instead, relate to them from a place of authenticity. As a result, our relationships become more genuine and fulfilling. The shadow shows up in many areas of our lives, often in subtle ways. It might manifest as projection, where we attribute our own negative traits to others. For example, a person who feels insecure about their own worth may project that insecurity onto others by assuming that they are being judged or criticized. Alternatively, the shadow can manifest as projection of positive traits. For instance, someone might idealize another person and see them as perfect, while refusing to acknowledge their own potential for greatness. The shadow can also manifest as suppressed desires or repressed emotions that occasionally erupt in unhealthy ways. For example, someone who has repressed anger may lash out unexpectedly, or someone who has denied their need for rest and self-care may eventually burn out. These unacknowledged aspects of the shadow can lead to unconscious self-sabotage, relationship conflicts, and emotional distress. The key to working with the shadow in everyday life is mindfulness. By practicing self-awareness and remaining open to the possibility that we have unconscious tendencies, we can begin to notice when the shadow is influencing our thoughts and actions. This allows us to make conscious choices about how we respond to our inner impulses, ultimately leading to greater harmony within ourselves and with others. In conclusion, the integration of the shadow is one of the most powerful tools for self-understanding and personal growth. Through the work of Carl Jung, we have learned that embracing the darker aspects of ourselves allows us to become more whole and authentic. Rather than fearing or rejecting our shadow, we are called to confront it with courage, compassion, and curiosity. By doing so, we unlock a greater sense of self-awareness, emotional resilience, and creativity, and we pave the way for more fulfilling relationships. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the shadow and its role in our journey towards self-actualization. If you found this exploration valuable, be sure to subscribe to the Unfolding Journey YouTube channel for more insights on psychology, personal development, and spiritual growth. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a video that could help you on your path to becoming your most authentic self. Take care, and remember, the journey to wholeness begins with embracing all of who you are, even the parts that are hidden in the shadows.